Hello everybody and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Rachel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're not new here, I love you and welcome back. I am excited, you guys, because isn't getting a doll in the mail just one of the fun things that can happen in life and in our doll stuff? It's fun to get stuff in the mail and to unbox it. And so I got a very special Raggedy Ann and an even more extremely special, wonderful book that she came with recently. And I have been saving it to unwrap special with you. So I wanted to unwrap it with you guys and we could kind of have the experience together. So I hope nothing goes wrong and I hope it's everything it's supposed to be, because I have not opened it myself. The only thing I have done is just open up a little of the package so that I can open it here live with you guys. So as you guys know, I am a big fan of Raggedy Ann. I have always been a big fan of Raggedy Ann. I am also a very big fan of Johnny Gruelle himself, who is the creator of Raggedy Ann. Johnny Gruelle was such an amazing man. He was such a giving person. He was incredibly loving and really, really, really good to his fans. He was known to, if any fan wrote in or wrote him a letter or whatever, Johnny Gruelle would write a letter back and usually even do a hand-drawn illustration for that person. He took his time with children. He was just an incredible person, and I really, really respect the illustrator Johnny Gruelle as a person. Johnny Gruelle started before he ever created Raggedy Ann. He was an illustrator for one of the big newspapers, and he wrote comics and illustrations and things like that. And it wasn't until his daughter fell ill that he started to think of ways to entertain her, and he created the character Raggedy Ann. And after her death, he needed a way to comfort himself and to move on and to have something to put his energies into and to remind him of his daughter, but also have something that was positive. And that is when Raggedy Ann stories and the Voland Raggedy Ann first came out. And it's just an amazing story. So what I have bought in the mail is a wonderful Raggedy Ann. But I bought her because she came with a very special book that has a wonderful illustration by Johnny in the book. So Rebecca said, never knew that about the author and creator. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys, Johnny Gruelle is a doll himself. He's just a very sweet, loving, just wonderful man. Nothing ever bad was ever said or done about Johnny Gruelle. He was just an amazing man. So here what I'm doing. I'm digging in my box. I'm going to spill a lot of this stuff is spilling on the floor. It's what I do for television. So that's okay. So here's my doll. Okay, she's looking good so far. This is my Raggedy Ann. She's a Voland Raggedy Ann. There are a lot of different versions of Raggedy Ann, but let's check her. Oh, she's so sweet. Okay. Here's my Raggedy Ann. It looks like she's in her original dress. This is a little bit later version of a Voland, mainly because she has a printed face. They started printing the face on a lot later after the hand-drawn faces. But I really love any kind of Voland Raggedy Ann. One of the misconceptions about Raggedy Ann is that she had red hair, but she actually had brown hair. But this doll is so sweet. Look at her, you guys. Look at her little feet and everything. Her happy little face. Raggedy Ann is just such a wonderful, happy doll. And I always gravitated towards them because I really liked that they were not breakable. In fact, she was called the Unbreakable Doll. And here's her candy heart. There we go. You can see it right there. It's made out of cardboard. But really, really, really early in the beginning, when they were creating these dolls, they put actual candy hearts in the chest, and the kids would suck the candy through the chest, and it would create a bunch of stains and you know, stickiness on the doll. So then they started doing cardboard hearts. But isn't that sweet that you guys can see it right there? I love it. Okay, so here's the doll. She's really cute. We love her so, but I'm going to show you why I had to have this doll. And it better be in here. Here it is. Okay. So we're going to talk amongst ourselves as I open up our wrapping here. She came with a very special book. I'm so excited. She came with a very special book. Raggedy Ann Stories by Johnny Gruelle. Okay, I'm going to open it up. There's Marcella. You guys want, just an aside, you know what I was thinking of doing? Maybe like on a read party or something, is maybe just reading some children's books to you guys. What do you think? Would that be weird? I think it'd be really fun. I thought it'd be fun just to take our minds off things and to have some happiness. It's just, I was going to read some children's books to you guys. Okay, here it is. So this doll belonged to a girl named Helen. And Helen, okay, this is so cool. Okay, so Gruelle entertains a group of 50 children, and Helen was 5.5 years old, and it made the story in the newspaper. And Helen was one of the little girls that came, and I'm just going to read it to you. Okay, Gruelle entertains about 50 children. That's the title of the article, and it says, draws sketches for them of Raggedy Ann characters. Okay, so Johnny went and did that. Okay, so now let's read the story. About 50 Greenwich children enjoyed a treat at the Mead Stationery Store last Saturday afternoon when Johnny B. Gruelle, creator of Raggedy Ann and Andy, drew pictures for them and told them stories. In addition, he autographed many books and drew several small sketches for the young children, who departed immensely pleased. His favorite drawing was the camel with the wrinkled knees, a character in the Raggedy Ann stories. He kept up a running comment as he drew the camel upside down and then surprised them when he turned the sketch over. A laugh then caused when one little member of his audience remarked that she could draw a better camel than that. Her comment was rewarded when the artist drew a special sketch for her of a real camel and inscribed a book. Other characters drawn were the Cookie Bush, the Hot Weenie, Raggedy Ann, and the Bluebird, and the Fairy Castle. Some of the sketches will be on view at the store for a few days. This is the book. This is the book that little Helen said that she could draw a better camel than Johnny Gruelle, and he drew her own camel inside the book, the Raggedy Ann Stories book. To Helen, wish many happy wishes. Johnny Gruelle. There's the camel with the wrinkled knees. And he said, and you can draw the camel much better. And look, there's Helen's camel. A 5.5-year-old said, I can draw a better camel. There it is. And then Johnny did one. Isn't that so sweet? And this is her original doll. You guys, I had to have it. Isn't this just so cute? And if you're a Raggedy Ann fan, or you're especially a Johnny Gruelle fan, what a wonderful piece of ephemera to have this wonderful book, the original story that made the newspaper, plus the little girl's doll, plus the drawing. I had to share it. Isn't that fun? Oh, I just love it. Rebecca said no words. I know, you guys, it is such a treasure. Age 5.5. Her original book and her original doll. This had to have meant so much to this little girl. Here's the preface and dedication to his book, Johnny Gruelle. As I write this, I have before me on my desk propped up against the telephone, an old rag doll. Dear old Raggedy Ann. The same Raggedy Ann with which my mother played when a child. There she sits, a trifle loppy and loose-jointed, looking at me square in the face in a straightforward, honest manner, a twinkle where her shoe-button eyes reflect the electric light. Evidently, Raggedy Ann has been to a tea party today, for her face is covered in chocolate. She smiles, happy and continuously. True, she may have been nibbled by mice, who have made nests out of the soft cotton for which she has been stuffed. But Raggedy Ann just smiles as broadly as when the mice nibbled at her, for her smile is painted on. What adventures you must have, Raggedy! What joy and happiness you have brought into this world! And no matter what treatment you have received, how patient you have been! What lessons of kindness and fortitude you might teach could you talk. You with your wisdom of 59 years. No wonder rag dolls are the best loved. You are so kindly, so patient, and so lovable. The more you become torn, tattered, and loose-jointed rag dolls, the more you are loved by children. Who knows? But that fairyland is filled with old, lovable rag dolls. Soft, loopy rag dolls who ride through all of the wonders of fairyland in the crook of dimpled arms, snuggling close to childish breasts within which beat with hearts filled with eternal sunshine. So, to the millions of children and grown-ups who have loved a rag doll, I dedicate these stories of Raggedy Ann. Signed, Johnny Gruelle. This book came out in 1918. Marcella liked to play up in the attic at Grandma's quaint old house, way out in the country, for there were so many old forgotten things to find up in there. One day when Marcella was up in the attic, she was playing with the old spinning wheel until she had grown tired of it. She curled up on an old horsehair sofa to rest. I wonder what's in that barrel way back in the corner, she thought, as she jumped up from the sofa and climbed over 2 dusty trunks to the barrel standing over in the eaves. It was quite dark back there, so when Marcella had pulled over a large bundle of things from the barrel, she took them over to the dormer window where she could see better. There was a funny little bonnet with long white ribbons. Marcella put it on. In an old leather bag, she found a number of tintypes and queer-looking men and women in old-fashioned clothes. And there was a picture of a very pretty little girl with long curls tied tightly back from her forehead and wearing a long dress and queer pantaloons which reached to her shoe tops. And then out of the heap, she pulled an old rag doll with only one shoe button eye, a painted nose, and a smiling mouth. Her dress was of soft material, blue with pretty little flowers and dots all over it. Forgetting everything else in the happiness of her find, Marcella caught up the old rag doll and ran downstairs to show it to Grandma. "Well, well, where did you find it?" Grandma cried. "It's old Raggedy Ann." And she went on to hug the doll. "I had forgotten her. She had been in the attic for 50 years, I guess. Well, well, dear sweet old Raggedy Ann. I will sew another button on her right away." And Grandma went to the machine drawer and got her needle and thread. Marcella watched the sewing while Grandma told her how she played with Raggedy Ann when she was a little girl. I'm just reading a little bit of the beginning of the book, but the book is wonderful. And maybe we'll have some more story times if you guys would enjoy that with the original book. I just think this is just the books, the original stories are wonderful, and the original graphics are just fantastic. Look at that. It was just such a delight to get this doll and to have the provenance of the story and the drawing by Johnny and the who doesn't love the camel with the wrinkled knees and the little drawing by the 5-year-old girl. and her doll. Isn't this so sweet, you guys? Ah, so fun to share it with you. Hope you guys enjoyed my little unboxing of my sweet little Raggedy Ann. Looks like her button eye might need to be fastened there a little bit, but she is just absolutely darling. I could not be more happy with this, and I am so thrilled with my purchase. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little unboxing and our story time. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.